You've probably felt it before. That pressure or pain in your ears during the flight, or the cabin lights dimming just before takeoff, especially at night, or that strange drop in your stomach just after the plane has taken off. That moment where it feels like the plane is about to fall out of the sky. And maybe that quiet thought in the back of your mind: what if the engine just failed? Well, today we're breaking down 5 things almost everyone wonders about when flying. And this one is dedicated to my nervous flyers out there. The ones who notice every sound, every movement, every change in engine noise. The ones who feel something that doesn't seem normal and start praying immediately. Or they see a procedure that feels questionable and instantly wonder, is that supposed to happen? Well, today you learn the decisions and the reality behind these sensations and procedures in the sky. Stay tuned. So why do your ears hurt during flights? It usually happens during takeoff, or more commonly during landing. That uncomfortable pressure, sometimes even pain. Well, here's what's happening. When the aircraft climbs, the air pressure inside the cabin changes. It's not dramatic, you understand? You're not suddenly at a mountaintop pressure, but it's enough for your body to notice. You see, your ears have a tiny passage that equalizes pressure naturally. And most of the time, it works perfectly fine without you even realizing. But in the case when the plane descends too quickly, the pressure outside your body changes faster than your ears can adjust. Just like in a swimming pool, when you dive down to the bottom really fast without equalizing, your eardrums stretch slightly. That's the pressure you feel, that blocked sensation, and sometimes that's the pain. It's the same feeling you get when you're driving down a steep hill or you're going through a tunnel. One of the things that can help relieve those pain is chewing gum, swallowing, or even yawning, because it helps force that tiny passage to reopen and rebalance things. It does feel dramatic and sometimes really painful, but in reality, it's just your body trying to catch up with physics. Well, now you know. So, why do they dim the lights before takeoff? If you've flown at night, you've probably noticed it. That's if you were not already sleeping. So the cabin crew prepare for departure, safety demonstration finishes, and then slowly the lights begin to dim. It suddenly feels calm, almost cozy, like the airline is getting ready to tuck you in for the night. Well, no, they're not setting the mood either, and they're definitely not helping you fall asleep before takeoff. Here's what's actually happening. It's actually much more practical than that. So you see, the human eyes take time to adjust to darkness. Think about walking from a brightly lit house into a dark street. For a few seconds, you can barely see anything. Now imagine that happening during an emergency evacuation. If something unexpected were to happen just before or during the takeoff sequence and passengers are needed to be evacuated onto a dark runway. In this case, because the cabin lights are already dim, your eyes would be already adjusted to the outside conditions. You'd see the emergency lighting on the floor, the exit signs, and where you're stepping into. It's a small detail most people barely notice, but it's intentional, it's calculated, and it's been a standard procedure for decades. So next time the lights dim before takeoff, it's not bedtime. Well, technically for some people it is, but it's not meant to be for bedtime. It's preparation, quiet, calm, and professional preparation. Now you know. So what's that sinking feeling after takeoff? You've been pushed back into your seats as the aircraft barrels down the runway. The wheels lift off and the city starts shrinking below you. Then suddenly, your stomach drops. For a split second, it feels like the plane is literally falling out of the sky. Like something just went wrong. You might even glance around to see if anyone else noticed, but everyone is just chill, relaxed, and enjoying the routine flight. Well, here's what's actually happening. During the takeoff, pilots use very, very high engine power. It's loud, strong, and you feel pushed back into your seats. But once the aircraft is climbing steadily and safely away from the ground, the full power is not needed anymore. So the pilots reduce it. It's not dramatic, not suddenly, just to a normal climb setting. But your body doesn't care whether your body doesn't care whether the pilot reduces it slowly or not. Your body doesn't measure altitude, it measures acceleration. And when that initial forward push eases, your brain reads it as downward movement, even though the aircraft is still climbing safely. It's the same sensation you get when a lift starts going down, or when the roller coaster tips over the edge. Your inner ear feels the changes in forces and tells you something dramatic happened. Even though you're not dropping, no falling, no sudden loss of control. It's basically just physics playing tricks on your senses. And once you know that oh no moment after takeoff feels a lot less dramatic. Now you know. Well, what if all engines fail? This is the one, that thought that shows up mid-flight when everything gets quiet. What if all the engines just stop? In your mind, it probably looks dramatic. Sudden silence, the nose pointing down, people gripping their armrests. It feels like the plane just gives up and starts falling out of the sky. But here's what surprises most people. Airplanes don't just fall out of the sky. Even if every single engine stops producing thrust, the aircraft doesn't just turn into a brick. It becomes a glider or a paper plane, and a really good one at that. You see, at cruising altitude around 35,000 feet, a large passenger jet can glide for dozens and dozens of miles, far enough to reach airports you didn't even know were nearby. And with the engines, they don't just quit randomly. They're tested, heavily tested in heavy rain, hail, bird impact simulations, and even sand ingestions. And aircraft have more than one engine. If one fails, the other keeps going. And in the extreme rare scenario where all engine loses power, pilots are trained for it. They don't panic, they just follow memory procedures. They attempt the restarts, they manage the speed carefully, and they choose the best available landing options. But what if you're halfway across the ocean? Aren't you just going to glide into the ocean? Well, no. On long overwater routes like crossing between Europe and North Atlantic, flight paths are carefully planned so that aircrafts are always within gliding distance of a suitable diversion airport. They are never just stuck in the middle of nowhere. There's always a plan, and a calculated one at that. So if that thought ever showed up mid-flight, what if all engines fail? The answer isn't chaos. It's glide, plan, and land. And that's a very different picture. Now you know. So, holding patterns. You're close to landing, you can see the city below, maybe even your neighborhood. And then the aircraft turns and keeps turning and keeps turning. And you think to yourself, are we flying in circles? Did the pilots miss the runway? Or are we lost? Well, no. You're in a queue. So here is how it works. Airports are like highways in the sky. And just like roads on the ground, they get busy. Aircrafts can't all descend and land at the same time. They have to be spaced out safely. Sometimes several miles apart, even though they're heading to the same runway. So when traffic builds up, air traffic control places aircraft into something called a holding pattern. So picture a very large oval racetrack in the sky. You're not circling randomly, you're waiting for your turn. From inside the cabin, yes, it can feel dramatic. You see the same building twice, and you think to yourself, we've definitely already passed that. Well, yes, you have, and it's on purpose. It's not confusion, it's choreography. So the next time the aircraft is turning in circles and turning, you know that you're just waiting for your turn and you'll be landing soon. Now you know. Flying feels dramatic, not because it's unsafe, but because your body isn't used to it. You're sitting in a metal tube, 30,000 feet in the air, moving faster than most people have ever traveled. I mean, you evolved to stay on the ground, not to be 30,000 feet in the air, so it's gonna feel strange. But behind every sensation, there's a reason. Behind every procedure, there's planning. Behind every that didn't feel normal moment, there's training. Most of what feels dramatic in the air is completely routine. And once you understand what's happening, the sky feels a lot less mysterious and far more controlled. So the next time your ears hurt, the lights dim, your stomach drops, or the plane draws a circle above the city, you know it's not chaos, it's choreography, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Maybe you'll enjoy the view a little bit more. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment in the comment section letting us know if you've ever encountered any of these sensations and how they made you feel. Did they make the flight feel, did it make you feel weird? Did it make you feel unsafe? Let us know in the comment section. Let us know if you've had the sensation that you felt that was not mentioned in this video in flight. Let us know in the comment section. Maybe we'll cover that in our next video. This is Aviation with Fails, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.